Namaste and welcome. There has been so much loss these past couple of years, both personally and collectively. And so many are experiencing deep grief. This can happen in many ways. Grief from losing a loved one is often top of the list, of course. But so many other ways we can be feeling grief. The loss of a childhood when you're forced to grow up and be responsible at too young of an age. The loss of innocence from neglect and abuse, or even grieving the loss of a way of life or lost dreams when we may experience major life disruptions, losing a job, losing our home, a relationship, even our lifestyle. Think global pandemic, lockdowns. We've all gone through so much of these losses. I am Kumari, founder of Divine Human Institute, where we share knowledge and tools to empower you to unwrap your healing, manifesting intuitive spiritual gifts. And today's topic is up for so many people right now. Today's healing. Healing grief without stepping in it. So I want to share some things I have learned from my 34 years of energy healing and spiritual practice and teaching, that deep grief, while never wrong to feel, there's no judgment of any of it, but ultimately it can block you from what many of my students and clients are looking for, which is being able to experience that loved one through the veil in spirit. And when they do that, there's great healing. But that pure spirit is also wanting to connect to you. However, the grief that we're carrying from the loss, which is natural, is blocking that experience. And so at the time of death, there's this great experience of the veil lifting, the veil between the physical realm and the spiritual realm. And this heaviness of grief, which I've been experiencing energetically for many people, is blocking that beautiful connection from the heart space. And so this this time of death that can be so rich is often, well, we miss out in some ways. And it's something that I've been able to help many, many people with, whether it's loss of a person or an animal. It doesn't matter. That weightiness, that density of grief can be shifted if we know how. And so the other thing I've noticed that could be helpful for you before we go into the healing and the meditation, to get an understanding of how you can approach it perhaps differently. Many times we think holding on to the pain of loss means that we care deeply. Have you ever thought? It's not logical. It's very primal in a way that, you know, if I care deeply, I'm going to be very sad. And so we equate the two. Or for me, I had the experience that if I let go of grief, I'm not sure I'm going to feel my beloved. At the time, it was my dog, where I came to this realization that I was walking around in such heavy grief for really a long time. And I thought, you know, I'm a healer. I should be able to move through this a little better. What's going on? And I really sat with that, and I realized if I let go of the heaviness of the emotion of grief and pain and loss, I wasn't sure I would feel her at all. I wasn't sure I could connect at all. And that's an energy reality that the feeling of grief is very heavy, very dense, very weighty. And the connection through love and appreciation and gratitude for all the time we did spend is a much higher, finer, lighter vibration. And so sometimes we're not as able to feel that or be sensitive to that. And so we choose the connection from pain because that's what we can feel. It's easier to sense it as a vibration and as an emotion. So let me ask you, what if you could connect more and more through love rather than through pain and through grief? What if you could care more and more deeply without attachment? And ultimately, what if you could connect to all consciousness, regardless of whether they were in physical form, in this life, in this reality, or in their spirit form, their spirit body? Something to think about and choose for yourself. So I'm not going to push you to let go of grief in this meditation. I am just going to assist you if you're ready to perhaps engage um, with some of these ideas and make different intentions and choices. And if you're ready, you'll experience from a place of expansion and love. So wouldn't that be great? Rather than the pain of and the deep loss. And I'm not judging it because I've allowed myself to go through all of it very freely. But I'm noticing the more and more I connect from a place of love, the less I feel like I have to connect through those other feelings. And so, interestingly, I was teaching my mastery students last night, and I came across this amazing quote, which reminded me of something that happened years ago. It's from David Kessler, who's the author of Finding Meaning, The Sixth Stage of Grief. And he was also co-author with the original book with Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, who was the one who in 1960s wrote a book on death and dying and the stages of dying, which they then adapted very well to the stages of grief. So his sixth stage, he's saying, is finding meaning. And so one of the quotes in a talk he was giving struck me, and I want to share with you now because this is where we're heading in the meditation. Grief doesn't get smaller over time. You expand beyond it. I love this because I had this direct experience one day. Interestingly, working with a suicidal mountain lion. And that's a story for another day. I'll tell you my experience, not her whole story. But she was starving herself to death after being ditched by her human family, put in a horrible place. And finally, a woman that I worked with for many years took her in, but she had given up on humans, given up on captivity. She was so depressed. And I began to feel that if you're sensitive and empathic, you may also feel the grief of everyone else, right? You can get overwhelmed with other people's sadness and grief and depression. And so this was what was happening. I started to feel that. And then I shifted, something shifted, and I expanded beyond my own body identity, my own idea of this overwhelming pain flooding my heart space. And it was the most beautiful experience, which I have been teaching ever since. So, this practice of expanding ourselves consciously, focusing on the divine love, the cosmic love, the love that we are in our unlimited potential, in our true soulful self and true being. This is what I want to do with you today. Not to dive into your grief, not to go into the stages, not to even look at that so much as look at how you might calibrate yourselves consciously to feel the expanding beyond grief. And so what happened was so amazing. I still felt like I was in this ocean of love, just getting larger and larger and larger till my own consciousness and universal consciousness was the same. I felt like I was swimming in an ocean of love. I don't know how else to describe it. And so I could feel the cougars was like a drop of poison in a huge, vast ocean. It didn't overwhelm me anymore. I could still feel it. It wasn't gone. But then I was able to help her. And she chose to live. In that moment, she started eating. So it was beautiful practice that I'm going to take you through now. So this healing grief meditation, I'm also adding Reiki or universal life force, which I've been practicing and teaching for over 30 years. And so I'm sending that, it's all by permission. For those who are wishing to receive that, I'm adding that into the meditation. So I'm going to guide you through a healing meditation But I wanted to make an intention first for yourself to help expand beyond the pain or the grief and connect more deeply to this ocean of love. Create an intention, because what you focus on expands. Are you willing to move into more acceptance, which is the fifth stage of grief? More allowing, greater awareness and understanding, more peace and purpose and meaning of what's happening for this experience of deep loss that you're experiencing. So, whatever you intend, you can come up with that now for yourselves. What we think about expands, so put it positively. I release any resistance or fighting what is, fighting the reality that is. This doesn't mean that you love it, doesn't mean you like it even, doesn't mean that you chose it, certainly not consciously. Something like this could work for you. I intend that I'm releasing my connection to my loved one through pain and grief, and I'm allowing myself to connect through more love, more acceptance, more understanding and peace. Let's begin the meditation. You can find a comfortable sitting position. Close your eyes, it helps you to focus. Begin to relax your body and your mind. And call all parts of you back into the present time. Your mental body, your spiritual body, your physical body, your emotional body. Right here, right now. Call yourself into present. And take a nice, deep, conscious breath. You may begin to feel the Reiki energy I'm sending, this universal life force. This is not my energy. This is universal or cosmic energy that sustains all life, all creation. God energy, some people call it. Begin to notice your breathing and allow it to slow down, deepen, and expand. Very slowly, breathe in and breathe out without pausing, without pushing, without straining. Just very easily bring focus to your breath. When you bring consciousness to your breath, it becomes pranic, filled with chi, your life force, already very healing and stabilizing, calming. Now the focus is going to be on your heart space. They say the heart space has way more electromagnetic energy than the brain. It's the new heart brain that is running the show. It's also where most of us feel the intensity of loss and grief. You feel that weightiness in the heart space. So just breathe gently in and out of your own heart. And allow your chest to expand and contract very evenly. A nice, even in and out breath for this. No holding, no straining, no pausing, just even in, even out. If you have 4 counts to the in breath, go 4 counts to the out breath. Just try to even it. And focus on seeing the out breath go out the front and the back of the heart chakra, the energy center in the chest. Begin to feel and notice the sensation of your chest expanding with each inhale. Beautiful. Now allow your energetic heart space to begin to expand, first within your own body, bring it out to the edge of your physical body. Just imagine it. As you think, so shall you be. So just allow your energy and your focus and intention to begin commanding a different reality. The true reality. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. This connects you back into your spirit self, your spirit body, which is quite large, quite limitless. Go beyond your physical body. Allow this beautiful heart space to keep enlarging, to keep growing bigger and bigger with each breath, faster and faster. It might go in increments, it might just shoot out. It's all perfect, no judging. You might actually feel some things. As you open your heart space, some of the trapped emotions may also express. Try not to judge anything as you open and expand. Just bring your mind gently back to the idea that you are expanding into the love that you are. Your heart is merging into the cosmic heart. Allow that process to happen for yourself. The love of all that is, universal love, cosmic love, the love of God and Goddess. The Divine Mother's heart is now pulsing through your heart. Imagine that Divine Mother is breathing you. And the result is ever increasing love and radiance. Higher and higher frequency. Faster and faster ocean of pure essence, pure truth, point love that you are expanding into. The love that you are, the love that you may feel for your beloved. Certainly the love that beloved has for you. The love that the divine heart has for each of us. Allow that to fill you up, expand you. Just keep noticing how that feels. Get lost in it. Let go in it. With each in-breath, Divine Mother is filling you up with love. With each out-breath, you're expanding into the universal heart, universal cosmic heart. This ocean of love is washing over you. Weaving in and out like waves and waves. Going deeper and deeper and deeper into the merge. Beyond the physical body, beyond the mind, you're merging into the cosmic body, the cosmic mind, the cosmic heart. This is your true self, your soulful self. A brilliant, radiant being of immense love, immense light. having a human experience. Swim for a few more moments in this ocean of love. Continue expanding. Allow yourself to feel lighter and lighter, higher and higher, more aware, more compassionate, more loving of self. And all your feelings. Let them be washed through and through with this expanded love. Take a few more deep breaths. I'm going to play the Divine Mother Bowl for you. With great gratitude and acceptance of whatever your experience was, whatever sensations, spiritual or physical, whatever energies, whatever understandings you may have gained. Perhaps you're feeling a bit lighter. Just notice how you're feeling now as you bring your focus back to your physical heart, back into your body. Begin to notice the surroundings, your environment. Open your eyes. Take a few moments to come back and attune to the room you're in, the space you're in. It's important to come back to your normal experience and just take a few moments to acknowledge what just happened for you while I share a final beautiful thought. This is from Leo Tolstoy, actually. Only people who are capable of loving strongly can also suffer great sorrow. The same necessity of loving serves to counteract their grief and heals them. May your love outweigh your suffering and your grief with great love, with great gratitude for all of you. Namaste.